Just look at that. Hi guys, we are going to be making Asun in this video. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back to my channel. Let's get right into the video. First, I will start by washing my goat meat. I did that off camera already. Then next is to cut this into smaller bits. So I got she goats. You can use he goats as well, but she goats are usually tougher than the he goats. So I had to cut this into bits. This is like my style of Asun, the recipe I made by myself. So I had to cut this into smaller bits to create a larger surface area for it to cook. Star girl, I can still remember my maths. Larger surface area. Emphasis on that, you know. That aside, I'm just going to be cutting this into smaller chunks, as I said. If you are putting in the whole larger chunk, it will take more time to cook, so I'm going to be cutting this into smaller chunks. Okay, Asun literally means cooked over open flames. The classic traditional Yoruba Asun is usually made on open fire, like the goat meat is roasted on open fire, then brought into the pot to be spiced and peppered and all those juicy stuff. But today I don't have open flames, I don't have open fire, I don't have a barbecue grill, so I'll just be roasting this in my oven. You could use your oven as well to do this if you don't have a barbecue grill. And I promise it will come out just as nice, just that it won't have that smoky smell. It's just like the jollof, classical jollof rice, smoky patty jollof. It won't have that smoky smell. But if you have the strength to put in charcoal and all of that stuff, you can, to get the smoky smell. So I remember the first time I had Asun, it was in Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. It was my friend's birthday. We went for her birthday outing and I had Asun. The pepper choked me. I remember I had like a really bad cough. I think there was no water in the restaurant. Wherever we went to, I was stroking, my eyes were red. Thank God I didn't die that day, because I thought it was over for me. Asun is definitely not for the faint-hearted, but of course you can reduce the pepper you're going to put in it to your taste if you are making it yourself at home. So I'm done cutting my goat meat. Next, I'll be putting on my fire and I'll be putting on my burner, and I'll just be putting in my small chunks of goat meat into my pan, and I'll allow this to cook in its own water. I'm not going to be adding any amount of water into this recipe or into this my boiling pan of goat meat. So next I'm going to be doing is to be adding some seasoning cubes. Beware of the seasoning cubes and salt you're adding into this recipe. Things like Asun, dodo, pepper meal, they tend to get salty or too spicy on time, so beware. I just used 2 seasoning cubes for about 800 grams of goat meat. Next I'm going to be adding is little salt, and I'll just stir that all together and cover and allow to cook in its own water. That was really amazing to me, because the water that came out of this was amazing. When they said that water is 70% of body mass, I could not agree less from this video, because water was just coming out like because whenever they say it in class, in school, I'll be like, but all these muscles, all these bones, are they not supposed to be like more than the water? But this is a testimony, my guys. I don't know, if you don't get this, just forget about it. So I'll just cover that, allow it to cook for about 20 minutes on low heat. It should cook slowly. When you increase the fire, it tends to get burnt, so just allow it to cook slowly and steadily. So I just gave that a stir and covered again and allowed to simmer for 2 minutes until the water is completely dry. So there we go. I still have some water there. In a few minutes we are good, we are home and dry. So here is it. It's dried already. This was just quarter to get burnt. It was almost on the way, like 15 seconds more it was going to be burnt, but I'm grateful to God it didn't get burnt. So I'll just be scraping that off, and next thing I'll be doing is to transfer this to my oven tray. I'll just be pouring all of this into my oven tray. Then after turning all of that into my oven tray, I'll just be putting in some oil over it with my brush. I'll just rub in some vegetable oil on it. Guys, please, if you're still watching this video and you've not liked, please just click that like button up there. Thank you. Then next, if you've not subscribed, please don't leave without subscribing. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. So after that, I'll just be tossing that into my oven, and I'll allow it to roast or to bake. No, not bake. I think roast is the right word, or grill, whatever. I'll just allow that to roast for 20 minutes. So shortly, I'll just be putting on my oven, and I'll be setting my timer for 20 minutes, and the temperature will be 180 degrees Celsius. While that is roasting, I'll just be heating up my pan and putting in some oil in it. Next, I'll be adding in some roughly chopped, emphasis on roughly chopped, habanero and bell pepper and onions. I chopped the three together, and I just gave that a good stir for about 1 minute and 30 seconds. After that, I chopped some garlic and ginger, and I just kept on stirring until this was well cooked. So after mixing this, I added half cube of seasoning cubes in bid to make sure that it doesn't get too savory. Then this is some ginger powder and little salt, as I stated earlier. So I just give that another good stir until everything is well combined and incorporated into my pepper mix. So after this, I'm just going to be going to my oven to check. It's roughly 20 minutes. Just take a look at that. Like, can you see how it looks? It looks so nice and it smells amazing. Like, the whole house is on fire. Not literal, but it smells really, really good. So I'll just bring that out. It's 20 minutes already, and I'll be doing a holy solemnization. I'm going to be mixing my roasted goat meat with my pepper mixture. I'm just going to be adding that in quickly and stir again and allow that to cook for a little bit to allow some of the juice from the pepper mix to seep into my goat meat. So I'll just stir that for about 1 to 2 minutes on low heat as usual. I just keep stirring down, and after that, I'm going to be tossing in some onions into it, apart from the one I roughly blended with my pepper. I'll just toss in some of it into it and give that another good stir. Then I did a final tasting to know if my salt and seasoning cubes were enough, but it was slightly not enough. It needed a little bit more. So the remaining half of the seasoning cubes I used earlier, I just added that into it, and I think I added in some salt off camera, and that was it. After this, for some flavor, I added in my already cut green and red bell peppers just for flavor, and I wrapped it up with some small finely chopped spring onions just for garnish, and that was it. Our asun is ready. Okay, so you can add in a bit of stock or water at this level if you want some moisture into this. Mine was a bit dry, so for more moisture you could add in some water or stock, and tada, our asun is ready. Classic asun. Okay, not traditional, but it's still classic, you know. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. As usual, don't forget to subscribe, like, drop a nice comment. Love you. Until another time. Bye.